Hello, this is Techie Doodle Doo and welcome to the wilderness. In today's video we are going to compare the GoPro Hero 9 to the DJI Action 2. And we are going to look at the specifications for both cameras. We are going to compare the video footage from both of them and also compare the built-in microphones. So let's dive into the specifications. Oh, and by the way, stay tuned until the end so you don't miss out the footage of our encounter with a scary swan. But first, the specifications. Let's start with the weight. With only the camera module, the DJI weighs 56 grams. But if you add on the power module, it weighs 56 grams as well. It will add up to 112 grams. Compared to the GoPro, it weighs 158 grams, so that's the difference for almost 50 grams. But it is also larger, so you don't notice the weight as much since there's more camera to hold on to. And the next thing I want to compare is the battery capacity. With only the camera module on the DJI, it has a capacity of 580 milliamp hours. And if you add the power module, is 1300 milliamp hours. So that adds up to almost 1900 milliamp hours. That's more than the GoPro, because the included battery on the GoPro has 1720 milliamp hours. And I tried to compare the operating times. The only shooting time I could find for the DJI was 1080p with power preserve option. So that means that if you only had the camera module, you can shoot up to 70 minutes. But if you add on the power module, it gets increased to 180 minutes. So that's a lot more than the GoPro's operating time. With the lowest setting in 1080p, a shooting time is about 104 minutes. I could only find an official IP rating on the DJI Action 2. It has an IP rating of IP68 and waterproof up to 10 meters, but this is only the camera. If you want to make it waterproof with the power or touchscreen module, you need to get the waterproof case. The GoPro don't have any official IP rating, but it's advertised as being waterproof up to 10 meters, so the same as the camera module on the DJI. The field of view angles was a bit hard to find. The DJI has a maximum of 155 degrees, that it says on the camera itself. And dependent on the settings you choose, it gets smaller, but I don't have the numbers for it. For the GoPro, you have a mod, it's called the Max Lens mod, and it gives it a field of view of 158 degrees. That's 3 degrees more than the DJI. The numbers I could find for the GoPro itself was 148 degrees if you used Super View without the Hyper Smooth options. If you want to use the Hyper Smooth settings on, it gets reduced to 138 degrees. So that's less than the DJI. And now to compare what we get in the box. Let's start with the DJI camera. I bought the power bundle, which means that we get the camera, of course. But we also get the power module, which is an extra battery pack, and also a way to charge via USB Type-C, and we also get an SD slot. You also get these two ports on the touchscreen, the front-facing touchscreen module, and also the same battery size, but it is more expensive. We also get a USB Type-C cable, or Type-A to Type-C, and it's maybe about 30 centimeters long, I think. We also get the magnetic adapter mount and the magnetic lanyard. So this is what we get in the box when you buy the DJI Action 2 power bundle. And now for the GoPro Hero 9. Well, we get the camera, of course, and we get a rechargeable battery, And we get a curved adhesive mount. This one is curved on this side. And we also get a mounting buckle and a thumb screw, so that you can mount your camera to the buckle. We also get a USB Type-C to Type-A cable to charge it or data transfer. And last but not least, we also get a case. This is like a hard case. We also can buy like a soft type of case for the other GoPro accessories, but it is so great that they include a case. Like to transport the DJI camera here. I used one of the pouches that I got with the DJI OM5, the gimbal. Like I wanted to transport the DJI Action 2 without without damaging it. So yeah, I really like that the GoPro actually came with a case. And it has a lot of space, like I can put everything included in the case. And still have room for much more. Like, you can see, it doesn't use all the space, so I can even put all the DJI accessories and the camera inside here and still have enough space for more things. And now to the next part of the video. Okay, now to compare the footage between them. I'm going to just walk with them like this and holding them out just with my hands, and I'm going to have one walk with all the stabilization off and one with all of the features on, just to compare them. As we can see here, the DJI has more field of view in both configurations than the GoPro, but it has more of a fisheye effect, as you can see on the T-tops. And the GoPro has a much clearer image, in my opinion, than the DJI. We can see much more of the small rocks on the stone here, and also more details in the ocean. So now I want to do the same test, just using the available chest mounts, the magnetic chest lanyard that comes with the DJI, and also chesty that you can buy for the GoPro. And I want to try to use them both at once, so we'll start with the magnetic lanyard. Just take the little part off that goes to on the camera, put this underneath my sweater here. Okay, I have it here. Then we need to find the camera, put it on, line up the dots at the bottom, like that, and just find the magnetic lanyard piece, like that. Some minor adjustments, okay. And now the chesty. Like that. I need to make some adjustments on the DJI camera, I see. Okay, like that. So now I found what I needed to mount the GoPro to the chesty here. This is just a quick mount, I think they call it. You just pull out the fingers from underneath the camera and line them up. So that, and you also need the thumb screw. And I hope yes. So this has like a silicone flap here. This needs to be open, so we are able to push this down. So then we can push this inside, and when we push the silicone part down, it will be secured, so now I won't be able to take it off so easily. And yeah, kind of adjusting the camera here and just tighten the screw. Okay. Okay, they're both on. So right away I feel like the chesty is a little bit uncomfortable if you don't get the straps just right. But you are able to adjust it in many ways by adjusting the straps. I don't think the GoPro wants to be able to fall off me. It's very securely fastened, so even if I'm running, falling, jumping, whatever, I think the chesty will stick to me. Yeah, but the DJI camera, it's fastened with a magnet, so this is a fairly thin sweater, and I don't use that much force to make it able to, yeah, fall off. So I don't think I want to go running with this, and but just walking or hiking, if you are sure that if you are wearing a backpack, you don't know that it interferes with it, I think you will be okay, but you should be aware of what you are doing since this is mounted with a magnet and not in a secure way like the GoPro is. So yeah, let's do the walking test. As we can see here, the GoPro are better at adjusting the brightness level. We can actually see the ground compared to the DJI video here. And it also seems to be more resistant to the minor shakings when I walk with the chest mounted, as we can see on the left images. Okay, so now I want to test the different field of view options on both of the cameras. And as you can see, we already have the mount on the GoPro, but I also fastened the same kind of mount on my DJI Action 2. And as you can see, I used the included magnetic accessory mount. And this mounts to the same GoPro, as you can see the logo here. But it also have these metal clamps that goes into these slots on the camera. So I feel like this is a much more secure way to fasten it than the other magnetic mount. So yeah, just have to find the settings and start shooting. The DJI's standard mode does some software tricks to make the image straight so that we don't get the warped fisheye effect in the corners. It still has noticeably larger field of view than the GoPro. And in my opinion, the colors on the GoPro looks more natural and it shows more detail in the water. In the wide mode, we see that the fisheye effect is now present on the DJI camera, and the difference in the field of view are much closer now. The DJI shows just slightly more than the GoPro, as we can see on the branch in the top right corner. And in the highest field of view mode, we see that the DJI shows more of the branch in the tree in the right corner and more on the cliff that I'm standing on. But still, the colors and sharpness of the image is more natural on the GoPro. Additionally, the GoPro has a fourth option for the field of view, which is narrow. And this shows an even smaller field of view than the other, as we can see here, compared on the left side. But this image does not have any fisheye effect as far as I can see. So now I want to do the microphone test, and I'll start with the DJI Action 2. And I will hold it approximately 1 arm's length away from my face. And I want to say, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And now for the GoPro Hero 9. And I will try to keep this at the same distance. Okay. An arm's length. And I want to say, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. Okay. So that was the microphone test. So what's left now? We have to go back to the studio and watch all the footage, and I will get back to you with the conclusion. And now conclusion time. So I've spent some time testing both of the cameras, and I've also looked at all the footage from both of them, and I have some things to say. So, well, let's start with the GoPro Hero 9. Compared to the DJI, the menus are a bit slower, and the setup of the menu is not so intuitive. How to switch between the different resolutions and the stabilization modes and everything, it's a little bit more effort to actually change them. Luckily, you can create several profiles for different resolutions and stability modes and stuff, but you have to do that beforehand. So after you've done that, it should be easier if you have some set ways that you want to shoot, for example. On the positive side, the footage from this camera is really good, I think. The image is so sharp. We can see individual like small rocks on the ground and everything, even when just holding it like up from the ground. And the colors are also better, in my opinion. It's a kind of more warm color palette than on the DJI, for example. And it also has very good stabilization. It doesn't have quite the same field of view as the DJI camera, but luckily GoPro has thought of that. So we are able to take off the lens. So this is the lens for the camera, and we can change this for something they called the Max Lens mod. So we just take off the old one, and you buy the Max Lens mod if you need it, and you just screw it on. So it has these metal bars that it fasten behind these metal parts here. So when you just screw it, clicks in. Easy as that. And that is also great if you damage the lens on this one. So you can just change it out. You don't have to send it in for reparations or get a new device. So that's really great. And also what you get in the box, I think it's great. You get almost everything you need. You just need a memory card so you can store your footage. It's also great that it has an integrated USB-C port here, so you can charge it with the included USB Type-C charger. Now let's talk about the DJI Action 2. I really like that this one powers on immediately. I just press the button and it's on, ready to shoot. It's also great that it has built-in storage, so I don't have to bring the power module if I'm just shooting something quick. And when I get home, I just connect the power module here and put in the micro SD card here, and I can go into menu and just transfer to the SD card and then put the SD card into my computer. So I think that's really easy. We can also transfer it through the phone app, but I don't know, it's more convenient to just transfer it directly to my computer, I think. The menus on the camera is also much more intuitive than on the GoPro. They're really easy to use and they're fast, so I really like that. On the footage that this camera produces, I think that it's really good. Everything seems a bit more soft than on the GoPro, not as sharp, and also the colors are a bit colder than on the GoPro. So it's, I don't know, you can choose what you like, the warmer color on the GoPro, or maybe if you like it more cold or maybe more natural in some settings, you should go for the DJI. And also the stabilization that this camera has is like beyond none. I think because the DJI makes the drones with the cameras, they have had a lot of exercise trying to make a good stabilization feature for a camera that floats in the air with wind and everything, so, and small vibrations. So that's maybe explains why they are so good at stabilization. I really like what comes in the box also. I really like the magnetic adapter mount here, so that we can use the same accessories as the GoPro camera. Which one would I choose? So it's a tough one, because I really like using the DJI camera more. It's easier, it's faster, the workflow of it seems to be quite nice, but I will go for the GoPro. because I like the colors and the end result much more than on the DJI Action 2. So you can't go wrong with either of these. If you want a sharper image and maybe warmer colors, you should go for the GoPro. Or if you want the better stabilization and high frame rates, you should choose the DJI Action 2. So they could use basically the same accessories and everything, so it's up to you what to choose. So that was my comparison between the GoPro Hero 9 and the DJI Action 2. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to our channel. We would love to have you in our techie family. So I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one! Ja, for jeg vet ikke om den har noen...
Nei, den går mot oss.
Vi kan gå lengre vekk da. Ja, vi skal gå.
Oh my god!
Unnskyld. Nei.